TOK Essay title number 4, May 2025. I love this one. If you're struggling to pick a title, let's choose this one and get an A in
TOK.
Okay, if you haven't seen my other videos, this is just like it. You want to pause the video here. You want to download all of my notes. Just check this out. Look how much notes and examples I've got for you guys. It's ridiculous. I've given you more human science notes than any other video. It's crazy. If you need extra help, and I know that you do, what you want to do is click here. It's going to take you to my Fiverr store, and you're going to be able to get a hold with me. We can Zoom. I just Zoomed with someone last night. Shout out to Laura. I'm helping her out. And I can help you pick a title. I can take a look at your essay. We can do a lot. And also remember, you want to look at all of my guides here on my website. And then you also want to, if you need help choosing a title, here's all of my titles so far. You can go here, help choosing a title. Finally, get an A in TOK.com/free stuff. We'll give you outlines and examples. I got your back, but you want to know what examples you're going to use for Title 4. Well, let's do this, okay? So first of all, if you've seen my title breakdown, I call this the popular one. A lot of people are going to do this. Do the ever-improving tools of an area of knowledge always result in improved knowledge? Discussed with reference to 2 AOKs. So if you choose this one, you want to find easy evidence. There are so many things that you can choose here. Also, since we're talking about tools, you're just gonna, it's really easy to stay on topic here. What's interesting is we're talking about tools of an AOK, not necessarily knowledge in an AOK. It's just, does it produce knowledge? So just really easy evidence. That's why I found so much. Next, if you want easy organization, there are 2 different ways that we can do this. The easy organization is yes and no, but we're gonna go a little bit beyond that. I'm gonna help you out with that. Then finally, choose this if you want to choose your own AOKs, because this one lets you choose anything. Some people like not having to worry about which ones to choose because you just get started really quickly. This one lets you choose any AOKs. That's good for some people, bad for some people. Okay, so my tip is this. Do not organize into yes and no. Instead, we're gonna look at our relationship with the word always, because remember, the answer is clearly no. Anytime a TOK question says always, or never, we know that the answer is no. So the answer is clearly no. So you want to find out the degree to which this statement is true. So it's no, but most of the time. No, but almost all the time, or no, but sometimes. So what you're going to do is organize it in this way. There's no correlation between improved tools and knowledge. Some correlation. You have an example where it does create groundbreaking knowledge, and then a reverse correlation. So improved tools made knowledge improvement worse, made knowledge production worse, knowledge sharing knowledge worse, anything like that. So we want to find something that fits in all of these examples. There's many more things that we can do. We can also compare, but these are my 4 different things that I'm looking at for where maybe on a scale or on an axis, the relationship between an improved tool and improved knowledge exists. Okay, so with that said, let's jump into the human sciences. Remember, if you haven't downloaded this yet, what are you doing? Okay, so what I started thinking about with sciences is how has the internet, which we would say is a tangible tool, how has the internet affected information gathering? So before the internet, a human scientist would have to go talk to people, hand out paper surveys, go to large crowds. Now they don't have to do that. So you can look at this article to think about how the internet has facilitated, in the internet, digital media being an ever-improving tool, how it has improved information and what's the phrase? Improved knowledge. So we can interpret that in so many different ways. So it's made it easier, for example, to gather answers. So that's totally improved knowledge. Also, we are able to reach out to a wider variety of people geographically. That's going to improve knowledge. Also, is probably a yes. So how can you find a way for this to be a no? That would be a really good way, because a lot of these are just like very clearly yes. And that's why there's the always in the title. So try to be more than just, yes, the internet is helpful. Okay, so what? Okay, I found this one, geospatial data. This is a new and cutting edge tool. It's using digital tools to map out data. So The answer with this one is also very, very clearly a yes. So what you want to think about is here's what it's doing, here's how it's improving knowledge, and then how can it not lead to a knowledge about humans and society? I really think it's going to. So what we want to think with both of these is that, or what we could draw, the conclusion that we could draw is that the internet is in the human sciences almost always going to lead to an improvement in knowledge. Some other tools, I'm trying to get a little bit deeper than just the ones that came to the top of my head. So game theory developed in the 1950s, and it has been improving. It has definitely led to improved knowledge. So do new methods of thinking across the human sciences always lead to improved knowledge? This is where I might be leaning towards a yes, because what I'm doing here, and you'll see this in the next examples I bring up, these intangible tools, so practices or methods, which definitely are tools in the human sciences, they're not going to be used if they don't lead to truth. They're not going to be used if they don't improve knowledge. So the answer for immaterial tools in the human sciences might actually be yes. And that's where we can get kind of interesting. Okay, looking at economics, the capital asset pricing model is a tool in economics which creates the knowledge of what is needed to mitigate risk. So this is what I just said. I was getting ahead of myself. Yes. Do non-physical tools always lead to an improvement in knowledge? So maybe that's where we're going to go. A physical tool such as the internet, not physical, but tangible tool, might be something that sometimes improves knowledge, but when we get to theories and practices and methods, maybe that always does, or almost always does. Another simple thing, cost-benefit analysis. You can't hold it, but it's used everywhere outside of the human sciences now. That's always going to lead to an improvement in knowledge, right? Sticking with economics, the gold standard would be a tool, a monetary tool, versus fiat money. I think it's fiat. I don't know how to pronounce that word. That's kind of weird. But think about these tools that were good. So the gold standard was a good way of economics, of money. I don't even know what I'm saying. It was a good way of understanding how money works. But then now what we're thinking about is that nobody's on the gold standard anymore. We've proven that it's not what you want to do. So this tool has been improved upon. So did this ever improving tool, that's where we're at now, did it increase knowledge? Did it increase efficiency? Do we now know more about money and trade and economics because we've moved to this new tool of valuing resources? I would say yes. Another thing, this is very popular. Remember, we want to stay away from just talking about John Maynard Keynes and his methods of economics, because everybody does that. It's like the first thing that you learn at econ, I think. So we don't want to do that, but we can look at one of his methods versus the Phillips curve. Both of these models help create knowledge through prediction. Do they always improve knowledge once we learn more about society and human behavior? So when we have these tools, they're really good, basically, until they're not. So when are they improving knowledge? Do they continue to improve knowledge? Probably not. So what stops these tools from continuing to improve knowledge? Is it that we have new knowledge? Is it the tool is really narrow and specific for a certain time? That's one of the things that you can think about. Okay, I love this one. I think a lot of people are going to use this just because from this one idea, there's many different ways to go. Algorithms in human science. Watch this. I think it's like how long is this video? Yeah, it's only 13 minutes, and it has just one of the greatest quotes that we've got about algorithms. Algorithms are opinions embedded in code. So watch this video. You'll get more examples from this video than just the examples I give here. But basically, the thesis is that because opinionated people create the algorithms, my opinions, my leanings, my biases are inherent in those algorithms. So what happened? I love this. The IB used algorithms in 2020 when they canceled exams. Did I misspell disastrous? I did. And my students got screwed. Straight up, my students got screwed. Shout out to them, but they're not watching this video because the algorithm was so biased. And so this is a case study on just what went wrong with the IB. And the AI and algorithmic hiring practices in the business world, so business sciences, have led to increased racism. So they tried to use algorithms to take the people out of the hiring process to become more equitable. But the opposite happened. The programmer's inherent biases were inside the code. So many different things there. And then in this video, you will get even more examples. She shares one that she was involved in where she was told you can't have access to this. It was in law. You can't have access to this because it's proprietary. It's our business's intellectual property, so we don't even have to share it with you. So algorithms are totally biased, even though we think they're just code. They're just maths. No, they're not. Okay, let's go down. Oh no, there's one more. I've got so many different things here. If you want to say thanks, get a hold of me on Fiverr. You can chat me up. You can order something. We can Zoom. I had a Zoom last night. I have another one tonight at 10 o'clock. Let's go, May 2025. ChatGPT and generative AI. Oh, I love this one. This is the tangible tool that could be used to support a sometimes perspective. And you can use your own personal example here. Think about how it can write an essay for you. You can totally cheat. That's great. But then it thought that famous white people were black. So look at Bard. It's now called Gemini because Bard was such a disaster. But basically, oh, there's no images here? Oh, that's terrible. You'll find them. But basically, Bard was programmed with biases to not show white people. So when you Googled, like, give me a picture of the King of England, it was black people. Show me the founding fathers of America, they were Asians. So it can do many things to improve knowledge, like teach me things. But then it can also not always improve knowledge by giving me things that aren't true. So ChatGPT, I'm going to write Bard, DALL-E, and we're going to come to that one too. And generative AI would definitely be a sometimes perspective. And remember, because we can very clearly support a sometimes perspective, the answer to the actual title is no, because they're asking always. So we're going to say no, but often with this kind of tool. That's where a top score is going to go. Okay, so many things. Let's move on to what's next? Natural sciences. Okay, I would not make this a main paragraph, but the scientific method, remember, it is a tool. Now, is it an ever improving tool? I'm not really sure, but I think you can say somewhere that this is the main tool that scientists use. I like this quote. Science is a way of thinking, a tool, more than it is a body of knowledge. So just keep that in mind. Okay. But when we got physical tools, which is what we're really thinking about in the natural sciences, because they're soft, their intangible tool would be the scientific method. All of these tools will provide simple but shallow examples of when improved tools led to improved knowledge. So how can you think about the implications and effects of technology and go beyond yes? So you're going to say yes, and here's what we can learn about technology. Here's a lesson. Here's an implication. When we think about CRISPR, this is a good sometimes, because we think about how DNA was first analyzed. It's crazy what people were able to do without technology. So click this article here and learn about how DNA was first isolated. It's wild. So an ever improving tool for isolating and analyzing DNA. But then you can talk about how could the ethical issues be considered not an improvement in knowledge? How could these tools be hindering knowledge? And remember also, the biggest hindrance in DNA gene editing is actually government. So think about that one. Okay, similar to CRISPR, how are tools used for cloning, creating, and inhibiting knowledge? Another big one. Ooh, I just got an order on Fiverr as I am recording this video. That's really cool. They're chatting me up. I don't know what their name is. I can't tell because my phone is sideways. But thanks for ordering with me on Fiverr, fiverr.com/PatFreakinJones. I got your back. I love this one. I've only seen a couple people do this. You can Google the radium girls. This is a huge controversy. Radium people thought was a tool for curing so many different things. It would make metal glow in the dark. Well, it actually killed people like crazy, destroyed them physically, and then killed them. So they thought it was a huge tool in curing disease. It wasn't. And there's so many things just like this. Okay, so it did not improve knowledge. They thought it was improving knowledge of curing diseases. It just killed people, mostly women. It was really sad. Okay, weather control. I really like this one because in Indonesia, where I used to live, they thought that they could just anybody could grab like a laser and shoot the clouds and cause it to be sunny. I don't know. But cloud seeding is now considered effective. That's totally, a lot of people do that by dropping dry ice in clouds. But other tools, let me say, in the past were used to try and control the weather. They failed because of lack of foundational knowledge of how the atmosphere works. So maybe that's how an improved tool improves knowledge. You have to have a groundwork of knowledge first, and then the tool improves knowledge. So if you have no knowledge, but you have a tool, is that tool going to improve knowledge? Probably not. But if you have some knowledge and then you have a tool, it probably will. That's a approach that I would take towards everything and see how that works out with prior knowledge and then a tool improving on that prior knowledge. What happens? Okay, we're gonna go to the arts. I've got a couple of different things here. First, I love this. Instruments are constantly being created every year, and these are a bunch of really interesting ones. So though they are tools and they're creating new music, not necessarily new knowledge, do they create and facilitate the spread of improved knowledge? So again, we have a physical tool. I don't know how much knowledge this physical tool is actually improving. Digital music. Has digital music distribution helped to improve knowledge? It's helped to improve careers. It's helped to improve creativity. But is it improving knowledge? In some ways, yes. And in some ways, no. Really interesting. I love genres. You know this if you've looked at my other videos. So genres are a way of collecting and understanding knowledge. Do they always improve it? So this one right here is about how new genres are created. When a new genre is created, that's a new tool for classifying. Oh, I'm gonna write that word. Collecting, classifying. I export this PDF after I make the videos, and understanding knowledge. So are we always improving knowledge transmission by creating new genres, or is it making it more confusing? Interesting. Last one, I told you we were going to get to Dali. An artist used AI to win an art competition. Does this improve or share or produce knowledge at all? What is the role of AI in creating knowledge in the arts? And so that's going to come up to a big piece of advice I share in like every video when I talk about the arts. Just creating an artwork, we don't want to say that's creating knowledge because that's not necessarily true. So instead, we want to think, is AI art sharing knowledge at all? Is it improving knowledge at all? The artist who said this said he is demonstrating his skill and his knowledge by working with the computer, just like I might work with some paints. I can get that, but we want to think about how did this improved tool, we go from computers just helping us type to creating like huge pieces of art, that tool improved. How did that, or did it at all, improve knowledge? I'd argue that it didn't, but I would love to see examples of how it did. Disagree with me. Disagree with yourself. That's a key for the TOK essay. If you need more help, I got you right here at the very top. Click here. You can go to my Fiverr store, fiverr.com/PatFreakinJones. Get some free examples at getanAandTOK.com/free stuff. Check out my website. Check out my channel. I hope that TOK sucks a little bit less than it did at the end of this video. I'll see you in my next one.